Mia's thumb hovered over the green download button. The app's icon was a stark white joystick on pitch black. Its name read simply, The Offline Game. She frowned. No developer name, no ratings, no reviews, just a single line of warning beneath the title. Play only when completely offline. It was blurbed on a dimly lit corner of an underground forum she'd stumbled across that afternoon. The thread was called Hidden Gems of the Darknet App Store. She should have closed the tab the moment she saw it. But the warning intrigued her. She tapped download. Immediately her phone buzzed. Not an ordinary vibration. This felt heavy, almost mechanical. The progress bar crept forward, 15%, 42%, and 89%. Then it stalled. She glanced up at the ceiling fan, her heart ticking like the blades. The screen went black. She assumed the install had finished, but there was no new icon on her home screen. She swiped, tapped, rebooted. Nothing. A chill ran down her spine. She pressed the side button to light the screen again and stopped. There it was, a new icon sitting alone on her empty second page. The Offline Game. Mia pinched the display to zoom in. The icon pulsed once, as if inviting her. She backed out of settings and opened airplane mode. Wi-Fi off, cellular off, Bluetooth off. Even her smartwatch lay on the table, deserted. Silent. She tapped the icon. The phone screen went black for a heartbeat, longer than usual, then flickered to life. Only a single button showed. Start. Below it, tiny gray text read, No internet required. Her pulse spiked. She hesitated a moment, then pressed start. The screen dissolved into a maze of simple shapes, squares, triangles, circles. A prompt blinked at the top. Level 1, connect the dots. Easy. She dragged lines between the glowing nodes. Click, click, connect. The maze collapsed. A soft chime rewarded her. The screen dimmed, and a new message appeared in plain white letters on black. Well done, Mia. Her breath caught in her throat. She blinked. Her name. She tapped the screen, and it went black. The familiar helper noise of a closing app didn't play. Instead, her music, the playlist of mellow acoustic songs, paused abruptly. Mia frowned, but shrugged it off. She tapped the power button. Her phone should have slept, but the screen lit again, brighter. A message. No notification icon, just an incoming SMS interface. She squinted. Hello, Mia. Her skin prickled. Her SIM card was ejected. She had no network. No messages should arrive. She flicked the slider closed. The screen went dark. Silence. Then, plink. The same SMS interface glowed back to life. Do you like puzzles? She yanked the volume to 0, but the vibration thrummed in her hand. Her fingers trembled as she hit the home button. The app icon pulsed again, urgent, beckoning. Mia's rational mind pushed back. It was just a glitch, a freak accident. She placed the phone face down on the table, stood up and paced. The room felt too quiet. The hum of her laptop, the steady thrum of the air conditioner, every sound echoed. She fell silent, pressing her back against the wall. Heart thumping, she leaned forward, peering at the phone's underside. She dared a glance. The screen wasn't lit. No pulses, no noises. Slowly, she sat back down. She lifted her hand, but the phone buzzed. Keep playing, Mia. The letters faded in and out, as if typed by someone hovering just behind her shoulder. Mia's breath caught. Her pulse raced. The app's warning echoed in her mind. Play only when completely offline. She swallowed hard and pressed the screen, fingers shaking. Mia's fingertip trembled as she tapped continue. The screen brightened into swirling gray shapes like fog drifting through a haunted hallway. Level 2, follow the path. A single white dot blinked at the edge of the maze. Mia traced the winding route, careful not to stray. Her pulse drummed in her ears. Click, click, the lines connected, and the shapes dissolved. A moment of stillness. Then her music, soft guitar strings, faded out. The screen went black. She pressed the side button, expecting the lock screen. Instead, a pop-up window hovered. From message. Did you enjoy that? Mia froze. She'd sat in silence. There was no service, no app running, no reason a message could arrive. Her thumb hovered over the OK button. She hesitated, then tapped. The pop-up vanished. The lock screen appeared. Relief washed over her. She slid to unlock, and the home screen. No messages, no unread badges. Only the app, its icon now glowing faintly in the corner of her vision. She tapped the offline game again. The start screen returned, but now the continue button was gone. In its place, level 3 revealed the hidden word. A jumbled grid of letters filled the screen. Mia scanned quickly, 3 words downward and diagonal. She tapped each letter in turn, fingers moving on reflex. When the final letter lit up, the grid pulsed and faded. A new message popped up before the level cleared. From, look behind you. Her breath caught. She spun in her chair. Empty room. The blinds were drawn, shadows pooling in the corners. She leaned forward, eyes on the phone. I see you. Mia's heart seized. She dropped the phone. It clattered on the hardwood floor. She froze, listening. No footsteps, no whispers, only the low hum of the air conditioner. With a shaking hand, she picked it up. The message screen was gone. The game interface had returned, already loading level 4. She swallowed. Her mouth was dry. Every rational thought screamed to switch off the phone, delete the app, get help. But her thumb hovered over the screen, drawn like a magnet. The chilling text seemed to seep into her bones. Play faster, Mia. And with that, she tapped, plunging herself deeper into the game's dark embrace line. Mia's fingers hovered as level 4 loaded. The screen displayed a simple silhouette of a house at night. A single prompt blinked. Find the hidden key. She tapped corners of the dark image, revealing faint outlines, windows, door, chimney. Behind the second window, a small golden key glowed. She tapped it. A chime rang and the silhouette crumbled. Her phone vibrated in her palm. The lock screen glowed, then a text bubbled up. From 0, you have my attention. She swallowed and slid to unlock. No message app icon, no badge. The home screen remained pristine except the game icon pulsing under her thumb. Heart pounding, Mia reopened the offline game. The start screen had morphed. No level number. Instead, tell me something personal. A text field appeared. She blinked, confused. What did it want? Carefully she typed, I lost my mother when I was 10. She pressed enter. The field blinked, then vanished. The screen went black. Music stuttered off. The phone buzzed twice. A message. I knew that. Her breath hitched. She hadn't told a soul. No diary, no social media posts, only her. She swiped home and checked. No other apps open. No notes, no traces. Her pulse thundered. She flipped the phone face down. Silence. Then faint at first, a ping-ping, growing louder. Your scar looks angry today. Mia hauled the phone up. The screen displayed the game's next challenge. Level 5. Escape the shadows. A black field with shifting gray shapes. She moved her finger through the mist, carving a path to an exit in the corner. Shapes coalesced into words as she traced them. I see you everywhere. She froze. Sweat trickled down her neck. She scrubbed the screen clear of the shapes. The level faded. The phone stilled. She exhaled shakily. Silence. Then, you can't hide. Mia yanked the charging cable free. Ejected the SIM again. She shut off the router. She clicked settings. No way to uninstall the app. The delete option was gone. Panic rippled through her. The walls seemed to close in. The room's shadows stretched toward her, yet the phone sat on the desk, silent until it wasn't. I know where you sleep. The message glowed. Her hands shook. She stared at the pulsing icon, powerless to look away, as the game dug its claws deeper into her life, demanding more secrets, feeding on her fear. Mia slammed her palm flat on the desk. She needed to regain control. She pulled into airplane mode again. Cellular, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all disabled. She ripped out the SIM card and tucked it into her pocket. Even her smartwatch lay untouched on the nightstand, drained of power. Her phone lay on the desk, silent. The icon for the offline game stared up at her like a challenge. She took a shaky breath and tapped the offline game. The screen flickered to life. Level 6, prove you're alone. A black and white photograph of her bedroom appeared. There she was, reflected in the window, sleeping. She tapped the photo once, twice. Nothing changed. A prompt appeared. Count your heartbeat. Mia pressed her fingers to her neck, counting. 1, 3, 14 beats in 8 seconds. She tapped 14. The screen went black. A sudden vibration jolted her. The lock screen glowed. She stared at the time. Then, a notification from 0000. You lied! Mia's blood ran cold. She backed away from the desk, eyes wide. She hadn't counted wrong, had she? She tried to dismiss the pop-up, but it wouldn't go. The only option was read. She tapped. The message cleared. The lock screen returned. She slid to unlock, but the home screen wasn't there. Instead, her phone displayed the game's interface with a single button. Her pulse raced. She pressed it. Nothing happened. The button stayed gray, unresponsive, mocking. Suddenly the screen dimmed. A new message arrived. Offline doesn't work. Mia swallowed hard. Her rational mind scrambled for explanations. Battery glitch, software bug, a prank app. But as she stared, the game icon glowed red and the phone vibrated again. I still see you. She tried to power off, held the side button, held it longer. The screen blinked but stayed on. She felt trapped. Finally, panting, she yanked the battery cover and pried the back open. The battery lay under screws she didn't have tools to remove. She slapped the cover back on, desperate. Her phone vibrated again. You can't stop me. Mia sank to the floor, pressing her back against the wall. The phone lay on the desk, alive, malevolent. Her own device had betrayed her, every avenue of escape blocked. She closed her eyes, tried to steady her breath, but the phone buzzed once more. Level final awaits. And through the quiet room, that mocking glow pulsed, a red heartbeat she could neither ignore nor outrun. Mia's vision blurred with tears as she pressed the phone to her ear. She dialed her friend Harper's number, just to hear a familiar voice. No dial tone. The line clicked dead. She tried again. Silence. She slammed the phone down and tapped the message icon. No messages sent, no draft saved. Only the offline game icon remained, pulsing in the dim light. Her breathing hitched. She needed someone. Anyone. She grabbed her laptop, tried Skype, no connection. Tried her tablet, dead battery. Even her old flip phone lay in her drawer, uncharged and useless. She pounded her fist on the desk. Come on, come on. But nothing worked. A notification pinged. She spun. The phone's lock screen lit up. New message. Your friend is scared of the dark. She froze. Harper was terrified of blackouts. Harper had told her only last week. Mia had laughed, saying she was braver. Now the game knew. Mia's blood ran cold. She dropped the phone. It landed screen up, the message still glowing. She snatched it back. Remember college party? Images flashed in her mind. The lake house, the prank gone wrong, the humiliation. Harper had taken the blame. Mia had sworn it was a one-time mistake. No one else knew. No one. A sudden crash from the hallway made her jump. She spun toward the door, empty. Shadows shifted under the crack. She backed into the corner, phone clutched like a lifeline. Another ping. You can't trust anyone. Her pulse thundered. She pressed her palms to her ears as if to block the words, but the phone buzzed against her chest. I do. She looked down. The app was open on the home screen. A new graphic appeared, an eye inside a shattered mirror. Level 7, look behind you. Mia's hand shook so badly she nearly dropped the phone again. She turned slowly. The hallway lay still, but at the far end, the air shimmered like heat haze. She blinked. The shimmer resolved into a shape, tall, dark, featureless. She gasped and spun back. The game's countdown timer had appeared beneath the level prompt. Then 2. Mia's breath caught. 2 minutes to finish. 2 minutes before. What? The phone vibrated and the timer began to tick down. Her vision tunneled. She tapped the prompt. You must face what's behind you. She pressed the screen to switch to the front camera feed, a live view of her shaking hand. The timer rolled. 40-30. She stared. Nothing but her bedroom wall reflected back, but each second felt like an eternity. Her heartbeat drummed. A distant voice echoed in her mind. I see you. I see you. She swallowed. The game demanded action. She rose to her feet, phone held out, and turned to face the hallway. The timer flickered. 45. The shape remained, silent and still. 10. At 5. At 0, the screen flashed white. A single phrase appeared. You're alone, aren't you? The white glow faded. The phone lay heavy in her hand. Mia's legs trembled. She was utterly, terrifyingly, completely alone. Yet the game knew her more intimately than anyone ever could, and it whispered that help would never come. Mia's knees gave out. She sank to the floor, clutching the phone like a talisman, an enemy both. The screen, however, was no longer taunting her with puzzles. Instead, it loaded a video file, the thumbnail showing her own bedroom at night. Her breath caught. She tapped it once, twice. The video began. Grainy footage of her asleep, pillow tangled in her hair, one arm curled beneath her cheek. She recognized the quilt, the pastel moonlight filtering through the blinds. She froze, heart pounding. The camera angle shifted, as if someone moved closer. The video hissed and the image stuttered, revealing a sliver of a dark figure standing at her bedside. Mia flinched and backed away. The video froze on the figure's formless silhouette. Then the app interface reappeared. "Play or I'll play for you." Beneath the words, a digital timer counted down. Her fibered. Her pulse thundered. She tried to dismiss the video, but her thumb slipped and she tapped play. Immediately, the screen switched back to a puzzle, dots and lines drifting in space. Level 8, Stop the Unseen. No instructions beyond the title. She had 5 minutes to figure it out. The timer ticked, 4:52, 4:30. Shapes drifted like phantoms. Mia had no idea what to connect or whether connecting anything would help. A vibration, a flash of text across the bottom. Too slow. Mia's breath hitched. She traced a random pattern, circle, triangle, square. The shapes pulsated but didn't dissolve. Wrong. Panic clawed at her chest. She tapped faster, frantically linking nodes in every combination she could think of. Each failed pattern triggered a harsher vibration and a more taunting message. "I see you're scared." Tick, tock. Her fingers blurred across the screen. The ghostly puzzle shapes swirled, mocking her indecision. The hallway outside her door remained silent, eerily so. Only one choice remains. Mia's vision contracted. She could taste the tremor in her own breath. She tapped one final pattern, a desperate star shape. Lines crisscrossing in a chaotic web. The shapes shattered into shards, and the screen flashed. The timer hit shh, and the app went black. Her phone vibrated violently, then jolted still. A single message glowed, "Your move, Mia." Underneath, 2 buttons appeared side by side. "Erase me. Be erased." Mia stared, unable to think. The video from earlier flickered back beside the buttons, showing the dark figure at the foot of her bed, now closer, its outline blurred but unmistakable. The room felt impossibly silent. The last seconds of the countdown echoed in her mind, and she realized there was no safe way out, only choice. Mia's vision blurred as tears pricked her eyes. The 2 choices, erase me and be erased, hovered like razor blades on the screen. She pressed down on her shaking thumb, but the glass felt impossibly cold. A sharp ping sounded, and the video replayed instantly, the grainy black and white of her bedroom, the formless figure now looming at the foot of her bed. It raised an arm, if it had arms, toward her sleeping form. Her chest tightened. She swallowed. There was no backing out. The game wouldn't let her. She tapped be erased in a panic. The app jolted. The screen crackled like static on old television, and then a countdown began. Mia's eyes darted across the screen, where a new puzzle appeared, sharper than before, a spiderweb of lines connecting dozens of glowing nodes. At the center, a single flickering node pulsed red. Level final. Break the pattern. No instructions beyond that. The red node's light throbbed in rhythm with her heartbeat. She hammered at the screen, tapping nodes at random. Each wrong tap sent a jolt of vibration through her palm. She backed away from the desk, fumbling for anything to throw. Her mug, a photo frame, anything to smash the phone. But the timer's angular yellow digits burned on, refusing to be ignored. Her breaths came in staccato gasps. Sweat beaded on her forehead. In the corner of her eye, the room's shadows seemed to stretch and twist toward her, as if the formless figure had slipped from the video into reality. She steadied her fingers and studied the web. The red node sat at the junction of 3 thick lines. Around it, smaller nodes formed a symmetrical circle. She traced the thicker lines with her thumb, following their roots to the web's edges. Time slowed. Every tap echoed in her skull. She tapped the red node once. Nothing. Twice. Still nothing. Then she remembered the figure's gesture in the video, as though beckoning. She tapped the 3 thick lines in the order they appeared on the screen's periphery. Top, left, right. The web glowed. The red node exploded outward in a burst of white light. For a heartbeat, everything went silent and bright. Mia blinked. The timer froze at periphery. The phone stilled. No vibrations, no messages. She dared to breathe. For a moment, the screen went black, and then it flickered back to life with a final message in stark white letters. "You won. For now." The screen dissolved into static, and the app icon vanished from her home screen. The phone felt weightless in her hand. She exhaled, collapsing onto the floor. The room plunged into silence. No pings, no video, No game. But as Mia pressed her forehead to her knees, a faint whisper echoed in her mind, an echo of that final message, promising it hadn't truly ended, and that it would return when she least expected it. Mia lay curled on the floor, trembling, the phone heavy in her hand. After a long moment, she summoned the strength to stand, dread coiling in her stomach. The app icon was gone, deleted itself, she thought. But she couldn't trust that. Her breathing steadied as she crept toward the window. Outside, the street lamp cast yellow slabs of light across the garden. Everything seemed normal, almost pitifully mundane. She closed her eyes and pressed her palm against the cool glass. It's over, she forced herself to believe. I won. Still, the memory of that final message lingered in her mind. You won, for now. Determined, she slid the phone into her coat pocket, walked to the back door, and stepped outside. The night air bit at her cheeks. She heard the crunch of gravel beneath her boots as she followed the moonlit path to the backyard pond, a dark mirror of still water under the crumbling willow tree. Her heart pounded. She reached the water's edge, hesitated, then drew the phone from her pocket. The screen was blank. No glowing dots, no messages, just the black glass of a powerless device. Mia lifted her arm and hurled the phone into the center of the pond. It arced through the air, landing with a muffled splash. Ripples raced outward. Silence. Relief swelled in her chest until a single bubble broke the surface, rising slowly, glistening in the moonlight. Mia's breath caught. Then, plink, a notification sound, faint and metallic, echoed across the water. The ripples stilled. A second later, the pond surface trembled, and a pale glow pulsed beneath the willow's overhanging branches. Mia's legs locked. She stared as the glow coalesced into the shape of a phone screen beneath the water, black glass illuminating the face of the dark figure from the video. Its form shifted, the edges distorting as if breathing. A message flickered on that watery screen, the letters dripping like ink. See you next time, Mia. The light winked out. The pond returned to darkness, silent again under the willow's sway. Mia forced her legs to move. She stumbled backward, heart hammering to end, and ran toward the house. Every instinct screamed to escape. Behind her, the pond lay still, yet she knew it was waiting. Patient, watching. When she reached her front door, she paused, pressed her fingers to her lips, and whispered into the night, "Never again." But as she slammed the door shut, she could have sworn she heard a faint notification plink from somewhere deep inside the house, and the softest, almost loving whisper in her ear, "Play soon."